As legend has it, about 250 years ago, two brothers traveled from an area north of Belfast and smuggled themselves into the below decks of a passenger ship headed from Londonderry to New York City. I went to Londonderry to see the city that the last of my Irish ancestors left behind before they traveled to North America, and in doing so, hopefully learn more about them and their adventure. Emigration from Ireland was very common from about 1700 to now. It's one of the few reasons we have Irish bars all over the world, with O'Neill's being the most common name of an Irish pub outside of Ireland. A little piece of home away from home. Over 10 million people have emigrated from Ireland, which is more than the actual population of Ireland itself. The 5 common reasons for leaving Ireland were running away from British colonization. Between 1536 to 1691, the British colonized Ireland, and a lot of the local Irish people were totally against this. I have first-hand knowledge that British culture has a steep learning curve. Sometimes it's just easier to leave than try to change the system. Religious persecution. During the British colonization, anyone who was not Protestant was seen as a pagan. Thus started a huge war between the Protestants and the Catholics. Those who wanted to practice Catholicism without fear of persecution had a much better chance of doing so outside of Ireland. Escaping the army. Ireland was involved in a lot of wars around Europe, not to mention its strategic position for protecting both Europe and Britain. In fact, Dublin was bombed by the Germans during World War II as it was mistaken for London. Land. Many people in Ireland wanted to chill out, have a peaceful life, have a farm with baby goats, tomato plants, and grow medical herbs. But land here was way too expensive and always at threat of being taken away by the government. Adventure. Ireland is a really small place. Even without the great public transportation system this island has to connect it together today, 200 years ago, it would totally have been possible to explore the entire island in just a short amount of time. Based on what we know about the two brothers that snuck on that ship, it's likely they wanted a bit of land, a bit of adventure, so off they went. One of the most interesting things I found about Londonderry is that it's one of the few towns in Europe who still has an intact city wall. Now this wall is pretty epic. It's nearly 2 kilometers in circumference and entirely surrounds what the locals identify as Londonderry. There are 4 gates to enter the city. Londonderry got its official name in the early 1600s. After Derry was nearly burnt down in a British-Irish conflict, the city of London was tasked with helping to rebuild this area. It was the first planned city in Ireland, and the streets are built in a grid-like pattern, similar to those that you see in the US of A. Built also during this time is the oldest standing building in Londonderry, the St. Columba's Cathedral. St. Columba was a Protestant monk, and this cathedral, dated 1633, was the first non-Roman Catholic cathedral built in Western Europe, and the start of a huge religious conflict that would endure for hundreds of years in the future. Join me next time as we dig deeper into this conflict and dig more into the ongoing dispute between the original Catholic inhabitants of this island and the British colonization, which has split Ireland into half for hundreds of years. Thanks for watching. Bye!